Okay, anybody having trouble with you push the tow feature on your shifter and it doesn't turn on in the GMCs, Chevys, a lot of pickup trucks, period, Ford and everybody that have a overdrive or a tow feature built into the shifter. This shifter is constantly getting pulled and pulled down, pulled and pulled down. Well, there's a wire that runs through here that operates this. That wire is held on by a couple clips, but what you're gonna wanna do is get a flathead screwdriver or a small pry bar, something like that or whatever. Anyway, flathead screwdriver is fine. And then you're gonna open up your console cover. Some of them are screwed together, some are not, just depends on what you have, but you need to get this casing opened up a little bit. And they just, if you look here, you can see there's little clips. They just kind of fall behind there. It snaps back together. So you kind of snaps apart and snaps back together. Anyway, you got to get this cover opened up enough to get this rubber boot protector, because it's got a hard back on it and it sits inside this casing. So you need to open the casing up to slide this boot back. And when you slide the boot back on this bad boy, inside right here, and I've already pulled mine. Here, let me move my hand out of your way. So inside right here, there's a little clip, right? Oh, well, let me turn it where you can probably see it. There's a little clip right here, and that little clip right there, the wire goes through it. See that little hole in it right there? Anyway, the wire goes through there, and then what happens is, because it's a bend point, it goes back and forth, just like anything else metal. You bend it back and forth long enough, it breaks in half. Anyway, that's what happens to these wires. They literally, either with a break in them or they break in half. And what you need to do is just splice it back together. And before you splice it, take that little clip off, slide it up on here, splice your wires back together. That way you can slide that clip back down when you're done, and then put it back in here. We want to make sure that this wire doesn't get affected by the shifting right here. This is where when you actually shift it down and everything, this is where everything comes down through here. We don't want this wire to get bound up in here anyway, like that, you know what I mean, and then cause a problem. Anyway, so yeah, once I get this spliced back together, I'll show you what I did, and then once I'm done, the tow feature will work again. It's really common for them to break. It's just, again, because they're constantly shifting. So anyway, give me a second, I'll show you what I did. Well, I'm 100% sure that this video is not going to gain me any more subscribers, and you'll see why. Ta-da! Anyway, so I was out of solder. I didn't end up soldering it. I used a wire connector. You may recognize what this is or not, but anyway, you can use a twist kind. You can solder it. You can jimmy rig it like I did. Ultimately, what I did was I took a wire connector. I twisted the wires temporarily because they were not color coded like I thought. I checked to make sure that my switch was working. It was. So I went ahead and got a wire connector. I slipped it over there, crimped down on it, cut it in half. I used the other half to do the other side of the wire, crimped down on it, and then that was it. It was already cut in half, you know. Anyway, so that little tab that's in here, this kind of was supposed to hold this little clip. Anyway, I was trying to pry the clip out of the column, and it's like it kind of goes up and into the column, and I seen it start to stretch. The plastic was going to break, so instead of forcing it out and breaking it and not being able to get it to retain itself back in there properly, I went ahead and I didn't slide the wire through it while I made the repair, because I needed the slack. And then in order to secure this wire back, I just used a zip tie through the hole on the clip right here. I know, like I said, this is not going to gain me any subscribers, but I'm gonna wrap some I'm gonna wrap some black tape on here, and you know what? And once that black tape's on there, I'm just gonna tuck that back out of the way like that. My shifter's not gonna get, the wire's not gonna get hung up on the shifter. Everything will be fine. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you real quick. Throw my key in, turn the key on if I can do this left-handed. There we go. So anyway, my key's on. I'm gonna press the little deal here, and my tow service is working now. So anyway, if you had a problem with your tow service, you got it, and it's ran through the column shifter like this. Anyway, a lot of times what happens is the wire breaks. So follow the video instructions and then pop it all back together, slide your little deal down here, clip here, but I gotta put some black tape on first. Anyway, yeah, I hope this helps somebody. Anyway, like and subscribe. You never know what I'll upload next. And also, if there's something I can do, a video I can make, like a how-to video or a problem-solving video on a vehicle you have, or I can explain something, just drop it in the comment box below. If it's something I can do, I'll definitely get to it. I appreciate everyone watching my videos, and see ya freaking nara for now.